Hey, my Zatima's fans, I'm back for the review on the mid-season finale, the final episode, which was episode 10. So let me just get started real fast on this review because this episode didn't really have much to it. The episode starts off with Fatima and Zach in the bathroom. They're kind of having a conversation about the night before and everything that transpired the night before, which was still things that Fatima didn't tell Zach, like how Leslie came by the house and everything that happened with Deja. At this point, he does not know. He notices that it seems like she got a lot on her mind, so he asks her what's going on and she still doesn't want to tell him. So we leave from there and they're getting ready to go out for the day. Fatima's getting ready to go to work and so is Zach, and they run into Deja. Deja is outside already. Well, Deja said she just got off from work and she is basically trying to talk to Fatima about what happened with Leslie, or letting Fatima know that they're working together. But Deja is hilarious. I don't know what they would do without Deja living next door because her moments are the best. So Deja cracks a few jokes and Zach is wondering, wait, when did y'all, start talking or getting cool? And Fatima again is trying to hide everything that's going on. Now, at this point, people, Fatima should have learned her lesson. When it comes to Zach, she should know that she should definitely not hide things from him. Meanwhile, in season 4, we still got her hiding things from Zach. Deja is being hilarious as usual. Fatima's telling her to basically be quiet, don't let Zach know. So that went well. Deja didn't say anything. They went in the house and Zach and Fatima leave. Boom. We go over to the next scene, which is Jeremiah. Jeremiah is out of the hospital now and he's back looking for his fix. He runs into a neighborhood dealer, which he asks him for some drugs. And the young man is trying to explain to him, like, listen, why don't you should have stayed in the hospital. He's like, they wouldn't let me stay. So the young man also told him that, nah, I can't help you. So Jeremiah shows the young man that he has some pills. Now, I guess it was supposed to mean he had like prescription pills that, people get addicted to. But meanwhile, the pills were ibuprofen. So this young man is like, listen, get out of here. Those are ibuprofen. And he tells Preston and Bryce. Now, Bryce and Preston needs to talk to Zach because at this point, Zach is not really holding his weight at the firm, at the business. They feel like Zach is kind of slacking because everything else is really pretty much more important. Now, we all know how Zach feels about Fatima, and especially now that she's having a baby, his focus is mainly there. But Bryce calls him on it, and Bryce was not afraid to tell him, listen, you need to step up. You're not doing things like you normally do. You're normally on top of your shit, and lately you haven't been. And I'm glad that they showed this part, that they're able to tell Zach when he is not holding his weight, and he's not. You can't let your business fall apart because you so concentrating on protecting your family. I get that you love your family and you want to protect them, but sometimes things are out of your, hand at times. So Zach thinks that he can protect Fatima and protect everybody. At the end of the day, how are you going to even be able to provide for them if you're not a part of this business? So basically, that's what Bryce was trying to tell him. For a minute, Zach caught a little bit of an attitude. And the part where he told Bryce that he tells Bryce that, he was like, this is why. Bryce says, this is why I'm not married. So Zach in return said, yeah, because nobody likes you and Angela don't even like you. I felt so bad for Bryce when he said that. I was like, damn, Zach, you just went low. Why you said that to that man? Like, wait, why you said that to him? I'm like, up and starts trying to calm Zach down. And Zach is like, listen, this is not the time to tell me to calm down. So Angela kind of understands that. And I do like Zach and Angela scenes lately. I feel like when I'm talking about Angela and what type of pace she needs somebody like Zach, like when it comes to like the acting together part, because I feel when she's acting with Zach, it's more like genuine to me. It seems like, they're really friends having a conversation, and it doesn't seem so forced like when she's talking to Sean or whatever. So the next scene is boom. the nurse tells Zach exactly where Fatima is. He comes in, gives Fatima a kiss. Fatima, he asks Fatima what's going on. Fatima basically tells him it's something that happens throughout pregnancy. It could be hemorrhoids, it could be stress, and we all know that it's definitely stress. And so she tells Zach, she's trying to play it off like it's really not nothing, but Zach is not trying to hear that, because he's like, if it's nothing, why are you bleeding? Why are you here? And so she explains to him everything, and then the nurse that's in there decides that they're going to check on the baby, which I felt like they should have did when Cameron went to, all right, I'm going to another area. I'll get to that when I get to the review on Sisters. So they take a sonogram and they get to see the baby. They hear the baby's heartbeat. It is too cute. So they hear the baby heartbeat. Fatima is happy. Zach is happy. But Zach is still uncomfortable with knowing that Fatima, in Zach's eyes, Fatima is really doing too much. In the mix of them having a conversation, Angela bursts out the Leslie thing. And Fatima, she tells Fatima to just go ahead and tell Zach. Finally, Fatima tells Zach exactly what's going on with Leslie. Zach face, guys, and you know when he does this stand right here and he looking straight, he is pissed the hell off. So Zach is like, listen, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all still lying to me and keeping things from me? Exactly. Like, come on now, Fatima. I know you don't want him to get in any type of trouble, but girl, just tell a man the goddamn truth. Because there's nothing you could do, girl. You can't fight that because you're pregnant. So tell your man what's going on. So Zach realizes that, oh, okay, that's why what was going on last night was what happened last night has something to do with Leslie. Okay, this is why Deja, was acting goofy, but he says Deja always act goofy, but she was just extra goofy. And if Fatima tries to plead with him like, babe, no, I didn't want to tell you, I get, because she didn't want the drama. But Zach is like, listen, I don't understand that. But at the end of the day, he's just trying to understand. So Zach decides, you know what? I'm not going to look for nobody. I ain't fighting nobody. I ain't arguing with nobody. I'm not doing any of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you a bodyguard, and that's the end of that. The team is like, oh, I don't need no bodyguard. This girl still thinks she's rough and tough, and she looked like she about 10 months pregnant. Like, girl, sit down. If he gonna get you a bodyguard, he can't be around all the time. Just let him get you a bodyguard. Simple as that. Anyway, Zach decides that's what he's going to do. She has the ultimate attitude, but that's not working because he don't care. So then we hop right over to Jeremiah. He's back in the hood, getting ready to get his fix and get super high. During the time that he's getting high, he see a vision of his mother. His mother is telling him he has people that loves him, and Zach loves him. And basically she came to him, a vision of her came to him to talk to him, to basically tell him to get his life together. And again, Zach loves him, and he has family now. He can should get himself together. So we leave from there, and basically Jeremiah telling her like, no, Zach don't care about me, nobody loves me, and he's fighting his demons right now. So then we go back to Zach and Fatima. They're leaving the hospital. Angela leaves. She goes home. And Zach and Fatima is headed to the car. And once they get to the car, Zach gets a phone call from Bryce. Bryce decides to call and apologize because he felt like he was coming off a little bit harsh to Zach. So he did call to apologize to him again, even though they had already made up. So I wasn't really understanding the call to apologize. But then Bryce did ask about Fatima. So I'm assuming that's really why he caught Zach, because he heard that Fatima was in the hospital. So I guess he was, just being a nice guy. Like, damn, I just went off for him talking about his situation, and boom, his wife is in the hospital. So yeah, that's probably why Bryce didn't call. So as they're getting in the car, Fatima says she's gonna relax, right, guys? Meanwhile, she tells Zach, can he drop her by the office so she could tell her job and she could get her work for the rest of the week, I guess, and pick up her car because she left her car there. And Zach is like, come on now. Now, at this point, I feel like you are putting my baby in danger. Like, come on now. What she could have did was, guys, she could have just said, listen, Zach, I need you to go to my job. I'm going to go home. I'm going to put my rest up, but I need for you to go to my job, get my car. I need you to, I can make a call to the job and have somebody deliver my work. She's pregnant. She should be on maternity leave right now, but I guess not. I don't know. She's still working. But she should have did it that way. So I could get what Zach is saying. It's like, what, Fatima, you're her kids was at during the fire, and she asked her what exactly happened, but Connie fell asleep. But Connie does not say that. She said she was cooking something and popped, the grease popped, and then the fire went quickly. The CPS lady tells her, well, why wouldn't you know where your kids is at? tuned.